Prince. Remember him? Since you talking, you're doing a world tour, and you running your mouth. We want to hear from your mouth what happened between you and Preacher. You know that dangerous, notorious nigga from Harlem? I mean, because we heard the story, and I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying I want to hear it out of your mouth. But I'm going to regurgitate what we heard. We heard you stepped the Preacher in jail, and you called Preacher a rat. And we heard this dude right here, he gave you some sleepy time tea, my nigga. You want to know what sleepy time tea is? I'm saying allegedly. I'm not even saying that this is true. I'm saying I want to hear your side of the story. Because this nigga right here, nigga, this, how Big said, black.
I want to address an issue that was spoken about several times, but I'm going to address it for the last time and whatnot. So now let's talk about something that's been out there. First of all, we're going to address an issue related to Clarence Preacher Heatley. First of all, we were incarcerated together in USP Beaumont. And during that time, when he came there, I didn't even know who he was. Hadn't did time with him in the state. Met him for the first time there. He was there for 2 months before I even knew who he was. The man never knocked me out. The man never slapped me. The man never put his hands on me, ever. We could not exist on the same compound, not because he was a rat, but because other matters related to allegations that he had allegedly done. So we couldn't exist at the same time. And in order not to have bloodshed there, what I did was made it real simple. And I said, mano y mano, we're gonna deal with this one-on-one. We're not gonna involve nobody else. We're gonna make sure that it's handled in a way that nobody else gets hurt. So we had a vicious knife fight. He just happened to have a bulletproof vest on. I didn't have one on. We had the knife fight. It was serious. It was dangerous. And at the end of the day, he ended up having to be the one to leave, not me. And so that we don't talk about this no more, I'm gonna show you the incident report. I done told you the lies that others were trying to say that didn't happen. Now you be the judge, so you know for yourself. And this is why I'm speaking about this, is because people will get on these platforms and say things to you that they know ain't true, but they say it anyway for shock value. And you'll always be able to find somebody who will hear or listen to you, whether it's the truth or not.
Man, yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man, out here, man. And man, he's come home and it looks like he's been ready. He looks like he's media trained and everything. So, I mean, he comes back with a response to Hassan Campbell and basically letting Hassan Campbell know, listen, man, you're not gonna get a win over here. This dude said he got paperwork, and he pulled the paperwork out, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, this is, I mean, grown man, it's just like, I guess the way I look at it, man, is like the man did what, 34, 35, 36 years or something crazy, whatever it was, but I know it's in the 30s, definitely 34 or something, but so for a man to do all that time, right now, like, he like, man, shoot, he has defended. He has to defend that name, whatever it is that he good or bad. It's like, that's all he have is that name, and he spent the time for it. So if he would stand up in jail, if he would stand up on the street, he's gonna stand up to it, man. So he respond, man. But I look at the paperwork, because everybody, it was always like, oh, there's a paperwork, this and that. So I'm looking at the paperwork. So I'm saying to myself, like, okay, so look at it. Everything looks good, man. Like this thing is crazy, man. The prison world, the prison legends, and there's many stories about him, and a lot of people was vouching, that he was more like a black mob boss, like a regular, just like the mafia bosses, like he was a boss. So they were saying that about him. And then but the thing is, rumors grow legs fast. So I think once Hassan Campbell claimed that Gerald Prince Miller, got knocked out by Clarence, Black Hand, Kirtley, inside USP Beaumont, the internet, it ran with it. Listen, the legendary Prince, who, 50 Cent, the legendary said, Prince was the killer. So when you hear something like that, and you hear he got knocked out, now you're like, oh man, this, so which is true? Which one is true? So I think he's seen that right there. So he came in and attacked it real quick. It looks like he's on top of his things. He came with factual Federal Bureau of Prisons incident reports. He definitely did. Real paperwork, real ink, nothing fake. So real dates too. And it says June 18th, 2000. It was a 12:05 p.m. USP Beaumont. That's what it says on the paperwork. And what that paperwork revealed, man, is not a knockout. It's definitely not no knockout. It didn't say anybody was on the floor. It didn't say one inmate fell on the floor. There was nothing about nothing like that. It says it pretty much the report is just stamped you. And then let's get this verified too, because the report is saying the report is stamped U.S. Department of Justice Federal Bureau of Prisons. And what it lists is, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna give it to you what I saw on there, just even with the names, the numbers, and everything, so that way you guys can verify whatever is going on. It says the name of the inmate is Gerald Miller. Registered number is 10564-050. And then it said location USP Beaumont, and then give you the date. The date, like I said, is June 18th, 12:05 p.m. So basically, the code of violence. What they saying is the fighting with another person. It says Clarence Kirtley, known in the street as Black Hand. Officer reporting KOD Ellis. Okay. So now we moving on, and then it says then the official. Let's go with the official description. The description says, I was standing on the sidewalk near Gerald Miller, number 050, and inmate Kirtley, Clarence, number 812. It says they begun attack each other using closed fists. They ignore verbal orders to stop fighting. There's no mention of a body dropping, no knockout, no unconscious inmate, just a straight mutual fade. Basically a mutual fade, man. A two-man brawl, both men swinging. Now imagine this in the yard, man. That day, just think about it. But it's funny because I think Prince actually spoke more on it, and he actually broke it down. And basically what he had said before on other platform, he basically said they was trying to what actually really happened was, he said this dude, Black Hand, who's notorious New York street figure, extorting and everything like that. And he says this guy turned Muslim, so I guess that's a turn off for Prince. He like, yo, you supposed to be the street dude, like you turn Muslim to get protected. He's like, but I don't think he's judging him on that, but he's saying basically that's what he did. So he said he didn't know who the guy was. He said, but once he found out that was him, he said there's no way this guy could be on the same place where I'm at, because I guess he felt some type of way. And the thing that he had revealed was more or less like he was, because, you know, the story of Rich Porter, how, you know, from Harlem, how, you know, he lost his brother Alpo and all that. But what people don't know that he revealed on other platforms is that Rich Porter actually came around his way, and because of someone else that was from Harlem that was hanging around them, or named Black Just, so they kind of took like, okay, yeah, man, we could do some, we could help you find your brother. We could help you find your brother. So they was actually there, actually trying to retrieve the brother, which was kidnapped by the Black Hand, you know, Clarence. So now it's like, so now he's meeting. So what actually happened, the kid ended up dying, ended up being killed in the process. So because they didn't have the ransom money. So that's a whole different story in itself. So now that he's seen this guy, which he has not seen before, and he basically said he have not seen him, he had never been in jail with him or nothing. So now he's like, no, there's no way you could be in here, because I remember the you know, the pain that you caused, you know, you know, Rich Porter, and he came to see us, you know. But I think it's like, it's the streets, so it's like it's just crazy how things is crazy. It's just so crazy, because when you think about it, it's like, this is the streets. So what? Like, this part of the street, right? But at the same time, I think he grew, you know, he speaks on having codes of, you know, morals, you know, certain things that you should not do, you know, touch no woman, touch no child. So, you know, I think he felt some type of way. But one thing I noticed he always said, though, he was like, he wasn't charged with it. He was, I think, but, you know, he said he was, I don't think he knew. He's like, this man, he wasn't charged with the kid. He wasn't charged with the death of the kid. Actually, the person that was charged with it was Rich Porter's own uncle name. I believe his name was Apple. But Apple basically ran into Preacher, and basically, you know, basically was running with Preacher, and Preacher, and told Preacher, yo, if you kidnap him, we'll be able to get some money. And Preacher agreed or whatever, but Preacher never claimed to be the killer of the kid. So they, you know, so that's another issue. So now let's get back at hand to the real deal. So now when we move on to now Prince seeing Clarence, now he's like, yo, you know, this, you know, being a Muslim ain't gonna, you know, get you out of this. I don't want you out here. We about to do something, whatever it is, we're gonna do something. Something's got to be done, because you're not gonna get away with this. You not, because, you know, you know, think about it, right? If you're sitting back and you thinking to yourself, like, you know, a person that you knew, and they was looking, you know, their kid was, their little brother was kidnapped, and you thinking like, and they come to see you, and you, the person, you know, now, you know, you sitting back like, man, they, you know, like, you know, certain street rules, like, it's certain things you don't do. You don't do. Yeah, the street is grimy, but there's certain things you don't do. And when you do them, you know, a lot of the street characters, a lot of high profile street characters do not, you know, condone it. So they basically, so he's looking at it like, yo, I heard about everything. You know, y'all killed, y'all chopped the little kid finger, you know, and sent messages to their parents, and then after that, you know, the kid, y'all killed the kid. So basically, so now he's looking at it like, you know what, no, you something else, man. All the street, yeah, it's the street, but you are something else. You no, something else is wrong with you. You gotta get off over here. We not. So basically, but then, because, you know, shoot, he was Muslim, so the Muslim guys, it doesn't matter what happened, you know, once you turn Muslim in there, it's basically like, okay, you a new man now. So everything that he has done, whatever, so basically it's like, yo, listen, he's a new man now, so he's with us, so whatever it is, you're not gonna just be able to just do anything to him and expect nothing to happen. So then he says, he broke it down like, yo, tension then erupted. So he like, nah, it just be me and him. But guess this, these guys had knives in their hands, so they throwing punches, but punches is with the knife, so they swinging. So, but I don't know, he keeps saying something about he had a bulletproof, the guy had a bulletproof vest, Heasley or whatever, a black hand. So he's like, this dude had a bulletproof vest. So I don't know if you mean a bulletproof vest or just like some type of something to stop the cuts from somebody stabbing. I don't know what he meant by that. But anyways, so he's addressing that situation, and so now he's like, yo, that's how that thing happened. So, but let's get back to it, man. It's just crazy, right? Well, he said, according to the report, they were standing, close when it jumped off. No sucker punch, no blind sides, no, just two men with long histories and short tempers. Fists start flying. It's just normal stuff, man. But at the same time, he says it was dangerous because it was knife fight. It was real fight. It was no play game, and and I believe him. I believe I saw what he's saying, man. He basically breaking it down like, man, nah, this was real thing. This wasn't fake. This was like, any man could have died at that situation. He says, but he says the officer, the paperwork says the officer stepped in and only when he got close enough, he got close enough and stepped in. And not because someone was on the ground. So that's a key point right there. We want to address that. Not because someone was on the ground, just because it was time to shut it down. But on a side note, and I saw an interview with Prince again on that situation. And he says, hey, he said he could have got shot because they wanted him to put the knife down. So he says Clarence put his knife down, but Prince didn't put his knife down. And he says the reason why he couldn't is because it was taped on his hand. So this is just crazy. Stay out of jail, man. But that's what it's basically saying. I mean, he keeps saying that too. So he keep giving us that. But he says they was stuck on his hand, so he could not do anything. So he's like, yo, he can't do it. So then he says he was saved by one of the other inmates who was like, man, you know what? He was like, yo, he said he was cool with that inmate and not inmate, but officer, and the officer was able to take care of him because they was willing to shoot him because they telling you put the knife down and he's not. So, but the reason why he didn't is because it was taped on his hand. So he's like, so then the officer was able to get closer to him, so he able to do it. And it's crazy, man. The report. Listen. Let's if Gerald Prince Miller had been knocked out, man, like the report would have listed injuries. It would listed like, yo, somebody fell on the ground, somebody struck somebody or whatever. Maybe not, but the paperwork, like they always say, paperwork is the paperwork, whatever. So it would have included medical assessment. It would have labeled him, non-responsive, unconscious, or laying on the floor. The code would have escalated, to assault resulting in a serious injury or whatever. But this one, man, it's labeled a code 201. 201 meaning just fighting. The lowest level category for hand-to-hand combat. That's what that was, man. It said both were cuffed and both were escorted, both were written up the same. It was no something different. It says that if a man knocked me out, man, think about this, man. That's what he says. If a man knocked me out, the paperwork would have screamed it. And trust me, yeah, that's true. No, that's really true, man. And he's right, man. Prison documents, everything. They have to document everything. The officer even wrote both were cuffed, escorted to the lieutenant's office. You don't cuff a man who's unconscious, man, but you just never know. It might just happen. But it said, but then, but so when Hassan Campbell went on YouTube having the incident report claiming, I don't think he had an incident report, to be honest with you, but he's going off rumors because what he says, he kind of said, yeah, man, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard, so moving off of what other people say, when 2 or 3 people saying certain things, and that's why you always got to make sure you have your facts in order. I think he's suing Hassan Campbell right now. So it's getting real right now. He didn't have no paperwork to say anything, but he just wanted to come back at Prince to attack him or whatever. But Prince, I guess he ready. So he have paperwork to prove that it wasn't him. There was nobody knock him out. If anything, he stood up. If anything, this man was moved out because it was like, nah, he got to go because listen, he was not gonna be standing there because we know what he did, and what he did is not respectable, even though none of it is respectable. But I guess he felt like that kid being tortured or whatever, or being killed, that's a no. That's unacceptable behavior, even being a gangster. But I respect it. But who am I to judge it? Either one of them, But so listen, man. He basically laid down, and I see it, man. That was just 2 lines collide, and it's not surprising they both stood their ground. It's not they both stood their ground. Nobody ran, nobody folded, nobody fell unconscious. It was simply, what happened when 2 alphas meet. They meet in a tight space. Somebody gotta go, and I'm sure Heath Lee didn't ask to leave or whatever. I'm sure they probably move him out because they can't have him in there, and on top of that, now he's a government witness. So basically they could not have him there because now he's been exposed to real dudes. So other people, and it was too close to home, I would say, because if he said when the kid was kidnapped that he was the reporter came to see him, so it's too close. So basically he had to move him. So I could see how that happened. So man, to be honest with you, man, I think this thing is senseless, but at the same time, I think Prince is trying to bring some type of code of conduct on the street. Like, yeah, you could be a thug, but you just cannot just do something like heinous like that to the kid, even though it's about the money or whatever, drugs or whatever, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. All right, man. Peace. The paperwork is official, though. I could say that. It's official. I read it, and yeah. Prince got